Hi, I'm Annie of ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. Welcome to episode number 28 of Season 2 of Live with Annie. In today's episode, we're going to introduce our updated pattern, Get Out of Town 2.1. We'll talk about the features of this handy duffel and share tips for gathering fabrics and supplies to make the bag. We'll also share some tips for using directional fabrics and naked strapping for handles and straps. So stay tuned. It's always a treat to see our regular viewers joining us from all over the world. Thank you for being with us again. If you're new to Live with Annie, we welcome you to our community and hope to see you again. We know there are lots of things you could be doing with this time, and we really appreciate that you've made time to be with us. I am in Montana this week visiting my daughter and her family, but we didn't want to miss a chance to connect with you, so we have pre-recorded this episode. My team will be here live to answer questions in the chat, so please show them some love, send them some hearts, and add your questions and comments in the chat. I'll be sure to check comments later too in case there are questions they can't answer. If you know someone else who you think might enjoy the information that we share, we'd love it if you'd tell them about Live with Annie too. The easiest way to do that is to tag them while you're watching. That will take them directly to the episode so they can watch it too. If tagging is new to you, just type the @ symbol followed by their name. Once you see their picture and name pop up, you'll know you've got the right person. Then click on it, add a message to them, and submit it. All right, last week we introduced our brand new pattern, Night and Day, which includes instructions for a versatile set of bags that make it easy to quickly change your look, night or day. If you missed it or want to watch it again, remember that you can find all the previous episodes of Live with Annie on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or at ByAnnie.com. We'll put up all the links to make them easy for you to find. Today we are going to showcase our updated pattern, Get Out of Town 2.1, which makes a functional, stylish duffel bag. It will carry everything you need for a weekend trip and easily fit in the overhead bin or under the forward seat. It features pockets inside and out to keep everything organized and easy to access. We are going to start by playing the An Introduction and a Closer Look videos for Get Out of Town 2.1. Then I'll be back to talk about what you'll need to make the duffel and share some construction tips. Hi, I'm Annie with ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. I am excited to tell you about our pattern Get Out of Town 2.1, which includes instructions for this functional yet stylish mid-sized duffel bag. It will stand out from the crowd as it carries everything you need for an overnight or weekend trip. Get Out of Town 2.1 is convenient for all sorts of travel, and its unisex design makes it perfect for men or women of all ages. Use it to carry your workout clothes to the gym, PJs and toys to a sleepover, or all the essentials for an international flight. Sized to fit easily in the overhead bin or under the forward seat, Get Out of Town 2.1 has a full zippered top that allows easy access to all your belongings. On the outside of the bag are a variety of pockets. A combination slip-zip pocket on front, perfect for a phone and keys, and 3 more slip pockets on the ends and back. They're ideal for items that you want to keep close at hand: a boarding pass, earbuds, snacks, hand lotion, and more. Inside are 6 more slip pockets, 3 made of mesh for visibility and a bit of stretch, and 3 made of fabric for added stability and privacy. The interior of the bag is wide open to hold clothes, shoes, and other organizers. Carry using the attached side handles, or keep your hands free and use the adjustable detachable padded carrying strap. Even if you don't have a fun trip planned, you're sure to get good use out of a Get Out of Town duffel. Set one next to your favorite TV chair to hold supplies and a project in process. Everything will be ready to go to keep your hands busy while you binge watch the latest hot show. Get Out of Town makes a great diaper bag that any parent will love. The inner pockets can hold diapers, wipes, bottles, and more, with plenty of room for extra clothes and toys. Or make and pack a go bag to keep on hand for each member of the family. Use them to hold everything you might need to get through a few days at an emergency shelter or other location. Clothing, important paperwork, health essentials, food and water, and basic supplies will be ready to go at a moment's notice. The Get Out of Town 2.1 pattern includes step-by-step instructions to make a professionally finished duffel, and is an update of the Get Out of Town and Get Out of Town 2.0 and 2 patterns, which were published in 2014 and 2017. The new 2.1 version doesn't change the design of the bag, but we've changed a number of dimensions and rearranged the steps to make the pattern easier to read and follow. We've also filmed an add-on video to help you with the more unique or challenging aspects of the pattern. You will love this new version. Ask for Get Out of Town 2.1 at your local quilt shop or find it at ByAnnie.com. If you have more questions, be sure to watch the A Closer Look video, which gives more info about gathering supplies and customizing the project. Whether you're traveling across town or around the world, or just want a good-sized bag to organize things at home, you are sure to love this handy duffel. Hi, I'm Annie with ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie, and I'd like to give you a little more information about our pattern Get Out of Town 2.1. This pattern includes instructions for making a functional yet stylish mid-sized duffel bag. The majority of the bag is assembled while it is flat, making construction extra easy. Then a zipper is attached to the body to form a loop, and the ends are attached to finish the bag. The Get Out of Town 2.1 pattern recommends that you use 3 fabrics for the duffel bag: a main fabric for the exterior, a lining fabric for the interior, and a coordinating fabric. The coordinating fabric is used for the handles and straps, inner pocket and sleeve, and bindings. Directional fabrics will work fine for this project, and the pattern includes tips for their use. The majority of the bag is made using quilted fabric, which you'll create by quilting the main and lining fabrics with Soft and Stable. You may quilt the fabrics on a domestic machine, or to make better use of the fabric and save time and effort, on a long arm machine. Cutting layouts are included for both options. If you need more information about quilting, please check out our free patterns, Peacekeeper and Easy Does It. You'll find lots of tips for quilting in the add-on videos for those projects. You will find a full list of supplies on the back cover of the Get Out of Town 2.1 pattern. If you don't yet have the pattern, you can also find the list on the pattern's product page at ByAnnie.com. Just click on the Supply List tab. There are many ways that you can customize the Get Out of Town 2.1 duffel to make a bag that is uniquely yours. We used the same fabric for both the main and coordinating fabrics for this classy understated bag. To add a bit of interest, we added some ribbons from Renaissance ribbons on the front and end pockets, as well as on the carrying strap pad. This would be a great bag to carry a laptop and paperwork to and from work. For this bag, we added a 4th fabric, using it for the inner back pocket and stabilizer sleeve. My sister would love this bag for her upcoming trip to Hawaii. She can carry it on the plane and have everything she needs to keep her entertained on that long flight. For this bag, we used Tula Pink's 1.5-inch webbing in place of fabric-covered straps. Since the pattern is designed for 1-inch rather than 1.5-inch straps, we moved the outer placement lines for the handles out 1/2 inch. We also made vinyl tabs for the ends of the straps to avoid any fraying on the ends. Any little girl would love this bag for a slumber party or sleepover at Nana's. We made this Get Out of Town 2.1 using a combination of 3 different sets of quilted fabrics. For the body of the bag, we used some fun red feathers. We used red, pink, and orange flowers for the bag ends, and multicolored flowers for the front and back pockets. This is a great way to use quilted fabric left over from other projects. We used coordinating fabrics from the same line to make a beautifully coordinated travel set, including a Travel Duffle 2.1, a Travel Essentials 2.0 set, and a group of Pack It In 2.0 cases. This set of bags will be perfect for carrying everything I need to my upcoming quilt retreat. Get Out of Town 2.1 makes a great weekend sewing project for confident beginners to more advanced makers. The design of the bag is very straightforward, and most of the assembly is done on a flat piece. The project involves basic skills used in many ByAnnie patterns. To help ensure success, we've also filmed an add-on video. It will help you conceptualize the project and take you step by step through the more unique parts of the pattern. Get Out of Town 2.1 is fun and easy to make. This stylish duffel bag will help you organize and access your belongings and keep everything contained at home or on the road. We can't wait to see what you make and how you use this versatile bag, so be sure to share pictures of your finished projects with us. Okay, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about how Get Out of Town 2.1 is designed and ways that you can use it. There are so many ways you can customize these bags, and they make great gifts for men, women, or children. Get Out of Town 2.1 is very straightforward to make, and I know you'll enjoy making and using these handy duffels. Let's talk now about the supplies that you'll need to make Get Out of Town 2.1. The pattern calls for 3 fabrics for each bag. A main fabric for the exterior of the bag, a lining fabric for the interior, and a coordinating fabric for everything else: the handles, the straps, the inner pocket and stabilizer sleeve, bindings, and zipper pulls. The body of the bag is made with one piece of fabric that wraps around to form the top, front, bottom, and back of the bag. So if you are using directional fabrics, as we did on this bag, be sure to follow the special instructions that are included in the pattern. Basically, there are 2 ways you can deal with directional fabrics, and they are dependent on whether you deal with them before you quilt or after the fabric has been quilted. If you are quilting on a domestic machine, we recommend dealing with the directionality before you quilt. So in that case, rather than cutting one long piece of fabric for the body of the bag, you will cut 2 shorter pieces. Then you will turn them so that the bottoms of the designs are together and join the pieces with a 1/2 inch seam. Alternatively, if you are using pre-quilted fabrics, as we did for this bag, you can cut the full-sized piece for the body of the bag, then cut it in half, rotate the 2 pieces, and join them with strips of fabrics, as you can see we did here. Our Using Directional Fabrics video, which we showed in Season 2, Episode 25, so just 3 weeks ago, is also available on our website, and it covers all the steps for either one of these methods. So if you're using a directional fabric, be sure to check that out. Of course, if you want to mix things up, you can add some additional fabrics. So for this bag, we used a lot of fabrics. We used 1 quilted fabric for the body of the bag. We used a second fabric for the 2 ends, and then we used another fabric for the pockets. So this is just a really great way to use fabrics that are left over from other projects. On this bag, we used the main fabric for the body of the bag, and we also used it for the handles, and we skipped the border that would have been made out of a coordinating fabric. So we used 1 basic fabric for everything on the outside. But to add a little bit of interest to it, we added some ribbons from Renaissance Ribbons on each of the pockets, and we also added some of that on the carrying strap pad. I really love the muted, more classy look that that gives. Just know that if you mix things up, as we did on these two bags, you'll need to figure out yardage requirements and layouts, but since there aren't a ton of pieces, it's pretty easy to do. Next, I want to show you what the inside of the bag looks like. So on the inside of the bag are two pockets, one that's made out of fabric and one that's made out of mesh. The mesh pocket is both bound on both the top and the bottom using fold-over elastic. And the great thing about that is that the fold-over elastic stretches along with the mesh so you can put bulkier items in there. It takes just one half-yard package of mesh and one 2-yard package of fold-over elastic to make this, and you're going to have leftovers of both of those for another project. Both our mesh fabric and our fold-over elastic come in 14 fun colors. They also match our 14 best-selling zippers, so you're sure to find something that's going to perfectly complement your project. I'm going to scoot this up here and pull this over because I've got some of the other things in here that we're going to need. All right, in addition to mesh and fold-over, you're also going to need some thread. And we use and love So-Fine number 50, which is made by Superior Threads. It's a 50 weight polyester thread. And for this project, we suggest choosing threads to match all of the fabrics used, also to match your mesh, your fold-over elastic, and your zippers. So, depending on how much variety you have in those, you may need several colors of thread. The other thing that you're going to use for this project is Soft and Stable. And that is used to give your bag great body and stability. One 1-yard package is enough to make the bag, and you're going to have a fair amount of it left over for another small project or two. Soft and Stable comes in black or white. Turn this over so you can see it. And a 1-yard package is enough to make the bag. You're going to have a fair amount of it left over for another small project or two. We recommend, if you're using darker fabrics, to use the black, white if you have any lighter fabrics. So on a bag like this one, where I've got a really light lining, even if I had a dark fabric on the outside, I would use white so that I didn't gray down the fabric on my lining side. If you are quilting on a domestic machine, the pattern includes instructions for quilting 2 different sets of fabric. One is used to cut the body, the other set is used for the ends, the pockets, and the carrying strap pad. But the pattern also includes instructions for cutting all the pieces from one piece of quilted fabric, and that's a great option if you prefer to quilt the fabrics on a long arm machine. That method makes best use of the fabrics, and you'll have enough quilted fabric left over for another small project or two. You're also going to need some fusible interfacing to stabilize the inner fabric pocket, and a 1/4 yard is plenty. We sell this in a 1-yard package, so you're going to have leftovers for another project. You're also going to need some zippers for the duffel, and you need a 24-inch or longer double slide zipper for the top, and a 10-inch or longer single slide zipper for the front pocket. So you can easily make both of those zippers using at least 34 inches of tape and 3 pulls from a package of zippers by the yard, or you can use a 30-inch double slide and trim it down for the top, and a 24-inch single slide for the front pocket. This duffel is designed to be carried with quick grab handles. It also has an adjustable detachable carrying strap, which I believe I put inside this bag. Yes. So both the handles and the strap are reinforced with 1-inch strapping, and we recommend getting that in black or in white. And because they're covered with fabric, you really don't need to worry too much about the color. Pick the one that matches your fabric the best. And one 6-yard package is just enough. You need 5.5 yards for the project for both of them. To make the strap, you're also going to need some 1-inch hardware. And so you're going to need a couple of swivel hooks to attach it to the bag, a slider to make it adjustable, and then you're going to have 2 D-rings or triangle rings that you put on the carrying strap tabs, which are attached to the bag and then used for attaching the strap. Our 1-inch hardware comes in antique brass, black metal, and nickel, so you can choose the perfect color for your project. Get this out of the way, and then we're going to talk about an alternative way to do straps that saves a bit of fabric and a bit of time. So on this fun bag, we used Tula Pink's new 1.5-inch webbing. We skipped cutting the fabrics for the handles, the carrying strap, and the tabs, and just used the webbing naked. Because at that time the only size that was available was the 1.5-inch size, we had to move the handles over 1/2 inch closer to the outer edges to keep the pockets that were in the middle from becoming too small. So if you do that, here's one important tip. The pattern includes instructions for a strap pad that's designed to go not on there, but on your carrying strap. We completely forgot that we were doing 1.5-inch strapping for our handle, and we made the pad according to the instructions, which is designed for a 1-inch handle. So now we need to make a bigger one so that we can fit our handle in between. One important note is that Renaissance Ribbon now carries Tula's webbing in a 1-inch size, and a lot of your quilt shops are going to be carrying that. So if you use the 1-inch size, you can just follow the pattern as it's written. Remember that webbing tends to fray really easily on the ends, so and Tula recommends burning the ends. We took it one step further and also added some vinyl on the ends. You can see it right here. We just stitched a 1-inch piece square or 1.5-inch square of vinyl over the seam where the ends were joined there. And on the strap here, we took a short piece of vinyl, folded it over the edge, stitched along it, and then just trimmed any excess vinyl just to make sure that we don't have any trouble with those ends fraying. So on this one, we used vinyl. On the travel duffel bag that we made that's sitting back there, we used fabric. And we'll cover that in the week when we introduce the travel duffel bag. So one last item that goes inside these bags is a base stabilizer. So the pattern includes instructions for a fabric stabilizer sleeve that covers the base stabilizer, and then you just insert that in your bag to give it a firm base. So we have one called our BS 120, which is designed to perfectly fit this bag. If you don't want to buy one of these, you can make your own using foam board or corrugated plastic. And once you've got that cut to the size needed, just slide it into your stabilizer sleeve. Fold the fabric over. I always fold the unseamed side first and then tuck the seamed side into the back. And then on this bag, once it's turned right side out, this is such a cute one made with Tula's Daydreamer fabric. I love the way Soft and Stable enables you to turn your bag right side out without getting wrinkly and crinkly, as it would happen if you used other stabilizers. So once you've got your bag all turned right side out, then you just take your stabilizer sleeve and put it down in the back, and it gives you a nice firm base. And don't forget that any bag that you make using Soft and Stable is completely machine washable and dryable. I usually let them air dry so I don't have to listen to the hardware banging around in the dryer. And for the base stabilizer, I just pull it out of the sleeve, wash the sleeve, and then put the acrylic back in when I'm done. I also recommend, if you're going to wash your carrying strap, put it into a mesh bag before you wash it. Our mesh bag made using our Mad About Mesh pattern is perfect for that. So I hope you enjoyed learning about Get Out of Town 2.1. It makes a sturdy duffel bag, perfect for all your travels, and I know you're going to enjoy making and using it. As always, please remember to ask for the patterns and supplies at your local quilt shop. If they don't have them, they can certainly get them either from us or from their favorite distributor. Local quilt shops are the lifeblood of our sewing communities. We all need to do everything we can to keep them strong and in business. Of course, if you don't have a local quilt shop, you'll also find them at ByAnnie.com. Since we're pre-recording this episode, we're not going to be able to take live questions, but remember, if you've got any questions as we go through the episode, put them in the chat, and either I or my team will do our best to answer them for you. All right, let's move on now to a couple announcements. Remember that the All Iowa Shop Hop, which started in early June, is running all the way through the end of July. It's got 100 shops participating. They have exclusive fabrics and lots of exciting prizes. So plan to visit some of those shops and be sure to tell them that Annie sent you. And then if you take some pictures while you're there, we would love to see them, especially if you find any ByAnnie models or displays during your visits. Let's move on now to our featured local quilt shop of the week. Each year in February, we celebrate local quilt shops with an annual local quilt shop contest. It's one of our favorite events of the year. During the contest, we encourage makers to vote for their favorite quilt shop and share a little bit about what makes them special. And to continue the fun and support throughout the year, each week we highlight a store or more and some of their voter submissions during Live with Annie. Today we are featuring Off the Rails Quilting in Bondurant, Iowa. Known as Central Iowa's happiest quilt shop, Off the Rails is located right in the middle of Iowa and right in the middle of the country. So if you're planning a road trip for the All Iowa Shop Hop, be sure to check them out. In addition to fabrics, patterns, and more, they also sell and service Janome sewing machines, Arrow cabinets, Aurifil and Isocord threads, and more. Over 5 years ago, the store presented their first Facebook Live, and they now present live episodes every weekday, Monday through Friday. They go live at 12:15 Central Time for their Lunch Bunch Live episodes, which showcase tips and tricks, ideas, patterns, fabrics, notions, and more. Their July 1st episode celebrated birthdays of some of their team and also showcased a fun ByAnnie trunk show. In 2021, Off the Rails borrowed ByAnnie trunk shows every single month. They recently decided that they missed those in 2022, so I'm happy to say that they are back again with monthly ByAnnie shows. They display these models in the store and also feature them in their live episodes. We are so thankful to owners Ann and Jenny and their team for their continued support. Customers rave about their product selection, helpful staff, and amazing customer service. Nancy wrote, "Every time I shop there, I am greeted by name. The staff is always willing to give me advice and assistance, from fabric selection to quilting suggestions. Great small town atmosphere." And Milan said, "Not only has this store been a boon to revitalizing the Bondurant, Iowa business district, it's provided a social networking site for quilters from literally all over the globe. The staff there are amazing people and are always available to help others with quilting questions and new ideas. One great and creative group of people with a down-home atmosphere." And Lisa listed what she appreciates about the shop: live online shows, excitement, wonderful selection, and demo of ByAnnie patterns. Again, Off the Rails has a ByAnnie trunk show in-house throughout the end of July, and another will be on its way to them soon, so be sure to make plans to stop in and see them. We also want to give a shout out to Options Quilt Shop in Jacksonville, Texas, who will have a ByAnnie trunk show on display from mid-July to mid-August. Options is a full-service quilt shop with traditional quilt fabric, licensed fabric, and wide back fabric. They are also a Viking sewing machine dealer with on-site machine repair. We're sending the store lots of fun Kaffe and Tula models and models of our 5 newest patterns, so be sure to stop in and check them out. And be sure to tell them Annie sent you. Thank you again to everyone who joined us today. We will be back in person next week at 2 p.m. Mountain Time with another fun episode of Live with Annie, in which we'll introduce another updated pattern, Travel Essentials 2.1. We've got lots of great models and info to share, so be sure to join us then. And until then, happy stitching!